let's get into the first topic, and I think you already kind of like low key transition into this. Let's talk about DanDaDan because DanDaDan, I would say, is probably the biggest launch of biggest. If there was a big new anime that kind of came out this year, I would say DanDaDan is it, just based on kind of the marketing, based on the conversation, based on the kind of like everything around it. I'm still not fully sure. I mean, I get what the show is about, um, but it's kind of kooky in a way. But what makes DanDaDan? What do you think makes DanDaDan as popular as it was this year? Because to me, were people I don't know if I heard like okay, it sold a lot of volumes. I don't think I heard that until the anime actually came out or the manga as it came out or people were reading it. Um More so as like people knew what it was and were just excited for like what's behind it. So what do you think as AD as someone who read the manga and kind of like you build anticipation towards this? Like what did you kind of think about what made it the biggest one this year thus far?
I think if you read Don to Don and you're going through it, you kind of see they give you the art is really good in the pages and like the setup for all of the different pages and the story is more down to earth. All of those things come together really well. So for readers who are looking forward to, what could come to life with the anime, I think that was kind of the first initial thing. And then as we're getting these clips and you're seeing like the art direction and them promoting the material, even towards like the theatrical premiere for like the first 3 episodes. If you went and saw that, you also got a good look at the director interview that came out beforehand and how they
Mm,
did the process with the writer, the author, and how he prepared himself to write this story. And then you got the directors and everybody saying, hey, we really wanted all of these pages to come to life. We kind of see the direction. So I think that initial like theatrical release before the actual anime, in addition to like them saying, oh, we're simuldubbing this, like when was the last time outside of like Netflix like shows, when was the last time you actually seen like an anime get
look,
a simuldub?
they did it this year for 80% of it on another anime that we'll talk about, which isn't the best for this year, but they did it. But though I would say those two
Hmm.
became successes of the year in terms of new anime for sure, and it's because of that simuldub. Like you
Hmm.
know, they put it on Netflix. It's ready to. You don't have to wait. Like for instance, Blue Box. Still no idea when the fuck the dub is coming out. No idea who's dubbing it or who's the voice actors, who's anything. So no idea when that's coming out. Daima, I think it comes out in 2025, which is unfortunate. Because I don't think people will care by then. Um, but
And they got some some heavy hitters, some great people to do the dub for them.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, down and
So
on. Yeah,
Founded on Dub is they're great, they're amazing, and the fact that it was so accessible just so readily, I think makes it adds to the appeal of it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when us Westerners, you know what I'm saying? Like people
Yeah.
who are trying to get into anime, when you get on Netflix, for instance, because it's a Netflix exclusive thing, which is also a big part of it. Netflix is
hmm
a juggernaut, and they've been over the last number of years. We've talked about this on all of our best and worst lists to an extent. They've really been trying to like, listen, we're making anime something very prominent for us, and they're scooping up these titles. 2025, they got Sakamoto Days. Who knows what they're going to grab next? Um, I'm sure maybe the One Piece might be on Netflix. Who knows? But they've made a conscious decision to say, like, listen, we put it all in. They used the marketing dollars. It was all over conventions. It was all over Anime NYC. It was all over NYC Comic Con. They did the work, and they're now reaping the results because of it.
Also, too, Don is like it's the most. It's something different and it's something new.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
even the things that we may have on our best list, and there are some things that I really like this year that I watched. But at
Sure.
the end of the day, if you compare it to a different shonen anime, they're very similar in
Yeah.
storyline. Some kid with weird hair who's just trying to be the best and the strongest,
Hmm.
making a friend out of the kid that really doesn't like him but secretly envies him. Like a lot of the tropes, a lot of storylines are very similar.
Uh huh.
Um, DanDaDan doesn't feel that way. It feels very fresh. It feels very new. It feels like it feels like Odd Taxi in the way of when Odd Taxi dropped. It was just like such a breath of fresh air to have something that's completely different than kind of the day-to-day, the normal stuff that you're watching, all the popular stuff, and you're like, oh, this is actually a really good story, or like this is captivating me in a different way that I haven't really been, drawn into yet. And that's what DanDaDan's doing. It's like you said, it's kooky and it's weird. It has some great moments. It's touching on some popular topics and maybe popular themes, but they're doing it in a way that isn't like power levels and let's do this, like the power of friendship and the typical, once again, the typical shonen stuff that I still love. Like I said, there's some things on here that we're going to talk about on our best list that end of the day, if you look at toward or compare it to something else, the similarities are there. Like this just feels like it's something that's brand new and feels fresh.